Hello students, the next program is about finding the biggest among three values. We will consider only integer values here because once you know working with integers, you only have to change the data types for comparison between floats and double. Okay, so first I have created the template. That means all these things are needed for every program. And I have saved this file with biggest.c name. We'll simply see how this comparison happens between two values first, because the relational operator that we use for comparison is this one or this one, right? So this operator is a binary operator. It takes only two operands at a time. We can't compare three values at a time to decide which is the biggest among them. So first we have to compare the two numbers and make the decision that which number is bigger. After that we have to compare this value with the leftover third value. We'll declare two variables a and b, as I am comparing only two values. Again you have to make a request. Enter the value for a space colon scanf %d ampersand a shift. Okay. Okay. See, copying and pasting is different here. It's not like a Control C and Control P. Copy, enter, paste. You can see the shortcut keys at the right end of the menu. B, right. We have to make the comparison between A and B. We have to make the decision like which one is the bigger. So that's why I'll be going for if statement. I told you that every statement ends with a semicolon, but there are some exceptions. If statement is one of them. We'll see further like what are the other statements that are not having semicolons at the end. So these braces are used for grouping. If you have only one statement, you don't have to use them. Else case. Okay. If A is greater than B, A, B value will be entered by the user. The comparison will be happening. If A is greater than B, if case will be executed. Whatever the number of statements we have within the braces, that one will be executed to give the result. If it's not the case, if A is not greater than B, then else part will be executed. What happens if you don't use braces here? If you have a number of statements to be executed, if this decision is true, and if you don't use these braces, then only the first statement will be executed and others will be left without execution. So in order to avoid that one, you can always group them or use a block for that. So I'll use one more variable like big to store the resultant value, like whichever is bigger one. Big equal to A. Okay, this is true. If A is greater than B, then big will be A, and we need to, you can print the result here itself or at the end, because anyhow big will be having the resultant bigger value is %d. Okay, if it is not the case, if A is not big, then obviously B will be. So whatever the value stored in big, that one will be printed here. This clear screen, I told you already. First the screen has to be cleared, then only our result should be printed. That's why I'll remove this from here, cut and paste it after declaration of the variables. If I write clear screen at the end, what happens is our current execution result will be printed first, then it will be completely vanished from the output screen. We'll see whether this one executes or not. Control F9. Okay, enter the value for A. I'll give 6 and value for B is 9. The bigger value is 9. Here 6 is greater than 9 is false, so else part has been executed. I'll give a different set of input. 3, 8. 8 is the bigger one. Here if case has been executed. Our program has not yet finished because we have made comparison only for 2 values, but the problem statement is about finding the biggest among 3 values. So we need 3 values, so we have to prompt the user for all 3 values. Copy and I am pasting. You can remember the shortcut key also. See, A and B has been compared and the bigger one is found as A. So here we have to make the comparison with the C in order to find whether A is bigger or C is bigger. So for that, one more decision making statement is needed. So this part will be executed only when A is bigger. So the decision is already made that among A and B, A is bigger. So I have chosen A and comparing with C. So if A is bigger than C, obviously the biggest one will be A, else biggest one will be C. Again, we don't have to compare C with B because we have already made a decision that A is bigger than B. We are finding the biggest among 3, right? So among A and B, A is bigger one. We are comparing this one with the C and made a decision that which is biggest among them. Here also the bigger one is concluded to be B. We have to compare B with C. If this is the case, big will be B, else big will be C. So bigger, not bigger now, it's the biggest. Biggest value is big. Okay, then we'll execute it. So 3, 5, 8. Okay, so finally C is the biggest one. Next, 6, 2, 9. Biggest is 9. C again because A is bigger than B. Again A and C has been compared. C is the biggest one. Now one more set of values. 9, 6, 4. Biggest is 9. Right? So this is the way you have to find the output. You have to find the output for all the 3 possibilities. That means in one set A should be the biggest one. Second order, it's not like order. You can choose anyways. But your output set should be including that at least one time A should be treated as biggest. At least one time B is biggest. At least one time C is biggest. Then only your program is successful one. Okay then. I'm closing this. Thank you.